been a week since the International Court of Justice made orders on 6 provisional measures when it comes to South Africa's case against Israel, ordering that Israel take all measures within its power to prevent genocidal acts, preventing the punishment and incitement of genocide, and also ensuring aid and services reach Palestinians under siege in Gaza. Joining me now, Yusuf Mohamed is the CEO of Islamic Relief. Have we seen any major movement in the distribution of aid, firstly over border crossings into Gaza over the last week? Yusuf, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Lester, and good morning to the listeners of CapeTalk. Thanks for having us on this morning. In answer to your question, nothing much has changed. It's been very much just continuation of what we've seen prior to the ICJ hearing and the verdict being delivered. Nothing has changed. The amount of aid getting into Gaza is still very restricted, hopelessly insufficient, and sadly to say that even the bombings and the killings have continued unabated. So nothing really has changed, unfortunately.
From your side here and from aid organizations, you are currently amassing supplies. Where are they currently being kept for them to be moved and distributed to Gaza? Yusuf?
Look, at the moment, there are aid organizations that are packing, as we may have seen like on the news and on social media, aid organizations that are procuring relief items in Egypt and sending it via the Egyptian Red Crescent into Gaza. We are procuring items currently inside Gaza, whatever's available, primarily fresh produce from local farmers, and then the limited stocks that we still do have access to. Over the last, in fact, month and a bit, the amount of, just because of the shortage of supplies, the amount of aid that we've had access to has been extremely limited. We're looking very much forward to the, I'm not sure if you've been hearing that there's talks of a negotiated peace settlement or ceasefire that's again come up between the factions, and we hope that once the ceasefire has been implemented, and we've been calling that since the start of the conflict, and to have unimpeded access of aid, then we'll be able to, reach the people that really need it with the required amount of aid. But at the moment, aid getting into Gaza is still very much restricted. The last time we heard, there was over 5,000 trucks that were waiting in a queue, to get into Gaza, and between 100 to 200 trucks entering per day, which is hopelessly insufficient.
Yusuf, the Israeli government has said that before it allows the mass mobilization of vehicles, trucks entering into Gaza, they would need to search these trucks first. They don't want arms and munitions smuggled into Gaza. Would you allow, firstly, a response to that? And secondly, would you allow your convoy that's waiting to go into Gaza, would you allow to be searched by IDF officials who are concerned that guns and ammunitions could be smuggled into Gaza?
Look, it's probably a legitimate concern, but ever since the trucks were first allowed into Gaza, before it enters through Rafah, the trucks first go to the Karim Shalom or Karim Abu Salam crossing. That's where it's inspected by the Israeli military. They inspect all the trucks, and it's not only arms and ammunition that have, from our experience, have been prevented, obviously, which is understandable, going into Gaza, but certain items also that have not been allowed, from sometimes baby formula, some anesthetics were not allowed at some stage into Gaza, and then this is removed from the trucks before they then go to Rafah and enter into Gaza. And one must remember that Rafah crossing was not built and engineered for mass transport of trucks. It's a crossing for people to cross. It's basically a port where people would cross between Gaza and Egypt. But now these trucks that are entering through Gaza or entering into Gaza through Rafah, the trucks have to, like I said, Egyptian Red Crescent, they transport the aid. First gets checked at the Karim Shalom crossing, then it goes to Rafah. Once it goes into Rafah, it's offloaded into a warehouse, and then the Palestinian Red Crescent, they then have been assigned the responsibility or given the authority to then deliver that aid to three main agencies, and that is UNRWA, the World Food Program, and the World Health Organization. And the amount of aid that is getting in, as I mentioned, it's not even sufficient to provide for the people that are currently, like in the UNRWA shelters. It's insufficient even for the people that are currently taking refuge in those shelters.
Yusuf Mohamed there, unfortunately I have to leave it there, CEO of Islamic Relief.